Welcome, everybody, to Satisfaction is Live. I am your host, Ben Olmos, and I really hope that this take two goes a little bit better than the first one. Welcome, everybody. I am fiddling around here trying to get my shit together. Okay. So, if you joined about a half hour ago, you'll see the train wreck that just occurred, which was me not doing such a great job managing the board here. And I was feeling all defeated, and I was like, you know what? No, I'm going to go back and I'm going to do it again. So if you're tuning back in again, thank you very much for coming back and watching me retry this one more time. I don't know why, but I seem to do it better when I have some guests with me, and it goes a little bit more smoothly. Probably because I'm a little bit more focused on the topic as well. Anyways, welcome back to the Satisfactionist Live, and I wanted to take a moment. So, no guests tonight, and the reason for that is I just wanted to give a little bit of an update. And truth be told, I'm running a little bit behind on me getting very important information out to my panel of experts that I recruit to do this show with me. And I have been delayed in getting stuff out because there have been other priorities that have taken precedence over this show. But I didn't want to have another Thursday go by where I didn't have something out there. So I appreciate you guys checking this out. Drinking tonight, working on finishing my Masseria Valley Verdeca 2017. This is about a $19 to $23, $25 price point, probably 19 to 23 on Wine Searcher. 88 point. Had it last show with Chef Monsibias, and it was being consumed and is being consumed again today. And this wine is a lovely golden straw color. It is not barrel. It smells delicious. It will delight the senses, and I would recommend. One of the things I did with it was cut up some fruit, so like get some fresh apple or pear, take a bite of that, drink a little bit of that wine. Amazing stuff. One of the things I wanted to just drop a line about is one of the reasons why I am always showing wine. I am in the wine industry, but I am specifically always showing Italian wine because I work for an Italian wine importer, and I love to share the wines that we have. And so Masseria Lavelli is an amazing producer of ours. They make some wonderful stuff, and I encourage you guys to go out there, check it out, and try it. And of course, please do so responsibly. The one thing several things I wanted to get into today. So I want to give you guys a little bit behind the scenes of how I pull all this together and make this work. And doing this because I love sharing knowledge. I love sharing insight and information about how to pull things off and do things. And so if you're watching this and you're like, wow, I'd love to do something like that, or I have an idea, I'd love to put a show together, I'm going to share with you some of the things that I'm doing and the way that I'm doing stuff. And by all means, if you guys are interested, go out there, do it. I mean, this is not a fixed pie. I think the more people out there doing cool and creative stuff, the better. So let me walk you through my setup and share with you guys a little bit of what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. So the heartbeat of what I am putting this together with is so I'm on a Mac. If you use a Windows, this is probably not the software for you. But I use some software called Ecamm Live. Ecamm Live allows me to take a feed from my camera, my DSLR. I am shooting this on a Canon 80D with a 18 to 55 millimeter just stock Canon lens. And I have that set up on just a little tripod in front of me. My mic that I use here is a Shure SM95. And I'm probably fading in and out as I'm sitting here picking it up, playing with it. But this is kind of how I put it together. I route that through a Steinberg UR242 which is my connector that I have running into my computer, which captures the audio and all that other wonderful stuff. So that's a little bit of my audio video rig and how everything gets into um, the software. Now, how do I broadcast this out? So currently I am on a YouTube channel and 3 Facebook pages, my personal page, my company page, Satisfactionist, and another page that I started a little while ago called IOP and Me. And that is because IOP is acronym for industrial organizational psychology. I almost said it industrial light and magic. I don't know why. Anyway, industrial organizational psychology, and that is the specialization of my PhD is in industrial organizational psychology, specifically positive psychology, and we'll get to that in a second. But so I broadcast on all 3 of those pages, and I do that through a service called Restream. And so what happens? I get my gear working here and put everything piping through Ecamm. And then I flip that and start publishing that to Restream. And then I turn on the streams in Restream, and bammo, there is the show for you. And I can do, all sorts of cool little things within Ecamm, like, for example, show this little lower third. That's always nice. I build lower thirds for my guests. The lower thirds I build in Motion. Again, another Apple product. Export that to Compressor, create an alpha channel, and save that to my my folder where I keep all of my lower thirds. And so, didn't mean to fire that off again. We'll just let it play, just because look, that's me right there. And if you're listening to this on a podcast, then you have no idea what I'm talking about. But the lower thirds I put through there, and then I have them for each of my guests, and then of course I can do camera switching. Oh, that's a really other kind of fun part. So the nice thing I like about Ecamm is that I can put through calls on Skype using the NDI software that is built into Skype and that Ecamm reads. So I can have multiple people coming in from Skype, about 4 or 5 different people coming in on Skype, and I can put them each on a different channel within Ecamm and switch in between them. So that is a very nice and fun feature. And then the other thing I can do is I can do kind of picture-in-picture sharing within it. So here's something we're going to do, and let me segue into this. So that's the gear. That's kind of how I put all this together. But one of the other things that I've started to do recently is, obviously everything that I just walked you through, there's an investment that is necessary for those things to run. And I do this a lot, just because I enjoy it. It's kind of a passion of mine. I don't see what I do as work. This is me just having fun, sitting in a room by myself, talking to a lens with nobody around to interrupt me. Yet, I mean, okay, maybe not everybody would think that's fun. And if you just were walking by and happened to see me in a room talking to myself, you would probably think maybe there's a little something wrong with me. And I'm not saying there isn't, but in this case, I do this because I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun for me. I get a lot of I have a lot of fun just meeting people and talking to people. Like the other day when we had Sangster's coffee on, and Binley Sangster and John Martinez, those guys are just so interesting, so fun to talk to. Learned a lot in that episode, and things like that are what make this fun and interesting. This is not work for me. And even some of the other things I do, like I teach. I've been teaching as kind of a second gig in my life for 15 years now, and continuously. Like I think the only time I might have stopped for about maybe a semester or 2 was my transition from Georgia to California. But I think probably, it was maybe a semester I was off, and then I was, back at it, and really have not stopped since then. I don't, but it's not work to me. I really enjoy it. I love talking with students and engaging with students, sharing what I know. I love it more when they actually are interactive and talk in class and ask questions and are inquisitive. And I tell them all the time, like, ask me whatever you want. But a lot of times people don't. They just kind of sit there, which is probably why I've gotten really good at talking to a room full of nobody in it. Not that nobody shows up for my classes. Come on, what are you, crazy? They love coming to class. But I've gotten really good at speaking to I don't want to say to nobody, but making a quiet room interesting, or at least I hope it is. So anyway, love teaching. That's why I love doing it. But so one of the things that I did recently, on top of all this other stuff that I do, is I started creating some content. And some of the content that I create, I'm going to share it with you guys right now, is that's not what I wanted to share. This is what I wanted to share. One of the things that I've started doing was I launched a Redbubble store, and in here are designs. Some of it's original photography that I've done. A lot of it is designs that I've put together around this theme of positive psychology, and really have had a lot of fun doing this. And for a lot of different reasons. So one of the things I try to do is I try to take terms in positive psychology and just give a little bit of a visual to them. And so one of the first designs that I did was around a term in positive psychology around your authentic self. And this was a term that was coined by Dr. Martin Seligman, which, if you guys are interested in positive psychology and whatnot, Martin Seligman is just like he's the Elvis Presley of the Beatles, you could say, of positive psychology. Definitely one of the guys who's out there, big cheerleader for it, the big name behind it. And not that there aren't a lot of others, but when you think of the person who kind of brought this field of study to life when he was president of the American Psychological Association, he and Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, started talking about this idea of positive psychology, and primarily because, all right, I'm gonna get off on the side skirt here, and then we're gonna come back to these pictures here. But one of the reasons that that is not right. Let's go back to the camera. There we are. So one of the reasons that Dr. Seligman talks about positive psychology is when you think about the fact that psychology for long time was really based on trying to figure out what was wrong with people. And, one of the things that he started thinking about was the fact that, we go and get a physical, we get a health physical from our physicians on a regular basis, or at least we should. And those physicals check our health. We check our blood pressure, we check our cholesterol, we check our weight. And we do that because we want to understand what are the early indicators to a, kind of moving in the wrong direction, right? And so when you are able to get a better understanding of what your numbers are and what your personal health is, you can make course corrections so that you have a more healthy life and you do the things that are going to sustain your physical well-being. And, he started thinking about the fact that, there are people out there who are doing very well, that they have a good, positive well-being, and that others could learn from focusing on the positive side of well-being, i.e. positive psychology. And from the lessons that we learn about what makes the brain operate and view the world in a more eudaimonic way. And Aristotle kind of came up with that term of eudaimonia, which is about living a life of well-being, living a life that isn't necessarily focused on happiness and joy and elation, but really focusing on doing the things that are right for living a good life. And when we look at positive psychology, that's really what we're trying to understand are the elements that are necessary for people to live a good life, a life of positive well-being. And so in the reading and the study that I've done around this, this is kind of what launched me into, wanting to get a better, not wanting to get a better understanding, but kind of launching products around that theme of positive psychology. Like, how do we use the imagery of that to kind of reinforce, positive thinking, positive mood, positive attitude. So, and that kind of launched me on a lot of these designs around, travel or going to the beach or hiking, and that kind of got that going. But then I was like, well, that's me being in the sales and marketing operations world that I've been in. I'm like, well, these are very, I feel like these skew very female, and what could I do that might skew a little bit more male? So that's when I came to some of these other designs around positive emotion and flourishing, and then the term broaden and build, right? And broaden and build is all about building your skills and building your awareness for those things that are ultimately going to contribute to living a positive life. And then I started, grabbing some of my own photography, just things that I've taken pictures of as I've been out and about, and put things together with that as well. So, Positive Psychology Collection, if you will, is available on our Redbubble store. If you go and check out Satisfactionist at Redbubble, and currently today's the last day. They have 20 to 60% off store wide, so you can catch some deals. But Affect Design is the little kind of shop that I've built on Redbubble, and all of the proceeds around that go to helping to sustain what we are doing here. And I'm looking forward to it, and I'm having a lot of fun, and I hope you guys are having fun while you're checking this stuff out. Thanks very much for your continued support, and I definitely appreciate you guys checking in, dropping by. I am currently working to expand and further cultivate my list of experts that both experts academically, professionally, entrepreneurs, just interesting people that I know and that I'm wrangling in to come in and do the show. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you continue to check it out. We're going to keep keep at it with hopefully interesting topics and conversations. And I don't always love going the edgy route, because I don't like to not focused on stirring up the negative emotions. I think sometimes when you go the edgy route, that's ultimately what you get. It's not necessarily the destination we're headed for here. Really going to toward the direction of being informative and being hopefully entertaining, but mostly informative. So if you like that, please share this with a friend. Tell them to come check it out. Tell them to come listen to folks like Lisa and Binley and John and Chef Monsabias and the folks that we've had on that are contributing their time. The Lickus family as well, who have come on and kind of shared their thoughts, their experiences. And by the way, if you feel like you have a topic that you would love to explore, by all means, reach out. You can reach me through my website at satisfactionist.com or my social media. Honestly, you go out there, you search that, you'll find us. We're out there. I mean, I'm hiding in plain sight. So, all right, folks. Well, thanks very much. I appreciate you guys checking this out once again. I hope that you guys have a wonderful evening, and we will catch you next week. Have a good one.